Good evening, Woodlawn United Methodist Church, and everybody out there on Facebook and YouTube. This is Pastor Sean coming at you with an evening devotional. I hope everyone is having a good evening. You're staying healthy. I know we got an update from the governor. I didn't get to watch it myself, but I know we're not going to be required to wear masks, so you're still encouraged to wear one. Please don't mind my face. I went for a long walk today and might have gotten a little sunburned. Just kind of on my head and stuff. That happens. Anyway, I hope you are, again, I hope you are doing well. It's been a harrowing couple of days already. Though there does seem to be some light at the end of the tunnel. I'm still waiting for guidance from our bishop as far as opening up, but I am beginning to formulate that. And I'll be contacting leadership here momentarily to sort of start those discussions. And again, I did yesterday, I wore the mask. I just want us to be, I'm just going to repeat this as often as I can, We will be back in worship, but it will be different for a while. And it might be a little weird and a little strange, but we can make that work. Tonight, we're going to continue just sort of our short, brief look at the book of Philemon. And I invite you to just, I'm just going to read verses 17, 18, and 19 tonight, book of Philemon. Paul writes this, "So if you consider me a partner, welcome him," this is Onesimus he's talking about, "as you would welcome me. If he has done you any wrong or owes you anything, charge it to me." And then Paul writes, "I, Paul, am writing this with my own hand. I will pay it back, not to mention that you owe me your very self." And so you'll recall that we've been sort of looking at this letter, and Onesimus is this escaped slave, and he becomes a co-worker with Paul. And so Paul is sending him back, and Paul is writing this letter to Philemon with instructions. And he's basically saying, treat this escaped slave as a brother in Christ. It's a very radical thing. And here we have Paul going further and saying, hey, if he owes you something, if he owes you money or something, charge it to me. In other words, I'm going to pay for Onesimus's debt. How many of us, let me just ask you, have you paid off somebody's debt before? Maybe a lot of people owe you a debt. But have you ever actually been so bold as to pay off somebody's debt? Or even forgive it? Maybe some of you have, I don't know. That's a radical thing. And it's freeing, especially for an individual. Now, oftentimes we don't, because we don't have an incentive. But Paul says, no, I'm going to do it. And then, I love it, in verse 19, he says, I, Paul, write this in my own hand. And the reason that's significant is that in those days, you might have a scribe write down your letter for you. And so here Paul, you sort of imagine him taking the pen and going, I'm going to write this in my own hand. So you know that I'm the one who sent this. That's remarkable. That Paul would say, hey, I'm going to pay off Onesimus' debt. Charge it to me. That's the wonderful thing about the gospel. We were slaves to sin, and now we're free in Christ because Jesus paid our debts. Something to think about as we think about the war, about what are the debts that you have outstanding? Not necessarily monetary debts, but what about debts of gratitude or love? Debts in ways we haven't even thought of. My prayer is that as we are going through this season where we're separated and you have to watch your sunburnt pastor on Facebook and YouTube on weeknights, It's kind of like Weeknight Live with the pastor. Right? That's to be a good broadcast, right? My prayer is that we will begin to say, God, what are the debts that I can pay off for people? Maybe monetarily, maybe not. How can I be radical in my love for other people? And how can I show them the love of Jesus? Lord, help us to seek you, to pay off, forgive each other's debts, and to know that our debt was paid on a cross, and we were risen to new life of an empty tomb. In Jesus' name, amen. Reminder, the office will be open tomorrow and Friday. And hopefully tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow. Oh, I almost forgot. So tomorrow we are going to have Bible study on Zoom. I will send the link out in the morning. If you need it, please call me, message me, and I'll find a way to get it to you. Unfortunately, you will need either a phone or a computer. I will turn on the conference call, however, if you want to call in at the conference call, just let me know. Try to get a message to me that you're going to do that, just so I'm aware. Have a good evening. God bless. Stay healthy. Stay safe.